Back in '98, some teens faced a spine-chilling encounter near a lake. They stumbled upon an old cabin, but they weren't the only ones there. Something, or someone, was lurking in the darkness. Ready to unravel this eerie tale? Hold on tight. The twist is unexpected. Summer 1998. The age of grunge, rebellious youth, and nights filled with mischief. Max, then a 16-year-old, sat in his dimly lit room, immersed in the electrifying beats of 80s rock. Every strum, every beat echoed the spirit of an era he never truly lived, but resonated so deeply with. His worn-out stereo, with its quirky buttons, was his portal to another time. An unexpected text broke his reverie. It was from Jake, suggesting they meet up. Ah, Jake. The very name brought images of endless laughter, goofy antics, and carefree days. Soon after, Ben pinged in. Garage, 10 mins. Max smirked. That was Ben, always precise. Donning his favorite black tee, Max grabbed his worn-out leather jacket and headed out. The night was balmy, with the soft scent of the impending autumn. A hint of excitement was in the air. The town was quiet, with only a few streetlights illuminating the asphalt. Ben's garage was their regular haunt, dimly lit with neon lights, an old radio in the corner, and a mishmash of chairs. It was their haven from the world. Tonight, the garage was their prelude to adventure. They laughed, shared stories, sipped on beers, and, with a shared glance, decided the night was too young to stay put. The trio needed more, something thrilling. They reminisced about the old trail, which led to a secluded lake. Once, a popular teen hangout. What if we head there? Jake mused, nostalgia evident in his eyes. Ben nodded in agreement, while Max, always up for an adventure, grinned in response. The path was narrow, flanked by trees, whose shadows danced in the moonlight, creating an almost cinematic atmosphere. Every step they took was met with the soft rustle of leaves, their own heartbeat, and the shared excitement of what lay ahead. As they descended, the vast expanse of the lake came into view. The memories associated with the place flooded back. Late-night swims, campfire stories, sneaking out just to lie under the stars. That lake had seen it all. To their surprise, the usual buzz of teen activity was absent. Instead, a deafening silence, punctuated only by the symphony of crickets, awaited them. The stillness was both comforting and unsettling. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of their night's mysterious tale. They settled on an old bench, reminiscing about the past and discussing the present. Yet, in the distance, an old fisherman's cabin beckoned, casting a foreboding shadow on the placid waters of the lake. As the minutes ticked by, their curiosity grew. The allure of the unknown, the thrill of exploration, pushed them to decide their next course of action. And so, with a mix of excitement and trepidation, they approached the cabin, completely unaware of the spine-chilling encounter that awaited them inside. The cabin, worn by time and nature, stood silent, its weathered wooden boards seeming to hold countless tales. Its windows were foggy and smeared, and the door seemed to hang on just by a hinge. Just by its appearance, one could tell it had seen better days, or maybe darker nights. The silence outside the cabin was eerily tangible. The only sound they could hear was their own heavy breathing and the soft lapping of the lake water against the shore. Yet, as they approached the door, the smell of stale air and damp wood hit them. This place had been uninhabited for a while. Jake, always the brave one, took the lead. With a gentle push, the door creaked open, revealing the darkness within. The ground floor was cluttered with old fishing gear, dusty furniture, and long-forgotten memories. As they explored, Max couldn't shake off an overwhelming feeling. He felt as if unseen eyes were watching him. Every shadow seemed to hide a secret, and the whispers of the past echoed around them. Trying to shake off the feeling, Max followed Ben and Jake upstairs, where an old wooden boat lay, draped with an old fishing net. In the silence, even the softest sounds were amplified. The trio, lost in their thoughts, suddenly froze as the unmistakable sound of the door creaking reached their ears. Someone or something was entering the cabin. Heavy, dragging footsteps accompanied by labored breathing made the atmosphere palpably tense. Each step sounded louder and closer, amplifying their fears. The footsteps seemed purposeful, as if searching for something or someone. Frozen in fear, the teens hid. Jake's quick thinking had them all duck into the old boat, pulling the fishing net over them as a camouflage. The room was cold, and the air thick with tension. Every heartbeat sounded like a drum in their ears. "Where are you?" a gruff voice growled, the smell of alcohol evident in his tone. The sound of shifting and moving objects filled the room. The intruder was searching, and the trio under the net could only hope he wouldn't discover them. But as time wore on, and as the footsteps grew closer to their hiding spot, hope began to wane. It felt like an eternity until the intruder finally made his way to the boat, his shadow looming large. With a swift motion, he yanked the fishing net, revealing the terrified trio. The moment was electric. Eyes met eyes. Fear met madness. The world seemed to stop, waiting for the next move. And that move would change everything. The room's air became stifling, filled with the mingled scents of sweat, fear, and old, rotten wood. The menacing stranger's eyes bore into the trio, holding them captive for what felt like an eternity. Max's heart raced, his mind frantically searching for an exit strategy. Ben's face had gone as pale as the moonlight outside, while Jake's hands clenched, ready to fight if necessary. Suddenly, the sharp glint of metal caught Max's eye. A knife held loosely by the intruder, its blade reflecting the limited light. Its presence heightened the gravity of their predicament. Jake, who always seemed to have a wild streak of bravery, acted first. With a surge of adrenaline, he lunged, pushing the intruder off balance. The unexpectedness of the move caught the man by surprise, making him stumble backward, the knife slipping from his grasp. Seizing the opportunity, the three friends bolted, their footsteps echoing in the dark, blending with the man's enraged shouts. Max could hear the man's curses and threats, but they sounded distant, almost unreal, as if coming from a nightmarish dream. The forest around them felt alive, the trees like silent spectators, branches reaching out as if trying to slow them down. Every rustle, every shadow seemed threatening, but fear, combined with adrenaline, lent them speed they didn't know they had. Emerging from the forest, they found themselves back in Ben's garage. The familiar setting felt surreal after what they had just experienced. The trio collapsed onto the couch, panting and trying to process the chilling encounter. Jake, always the most vocal of the group, finally broke the silence. Did you guys see the knife? The gravity of their close call became painfully clear. What would have happened if they hadn't escaped? If Jake hadn't acted in that split second? The what-ifs haunted them, underscoring the fragile line between safety and danger. That night changed them. It became a tale they recounted in hushed tones, a stark reminder of the unexpected horrors that could lurk in the most innocent of adventures. It was an experience that bonded them even closer, making them value life and friendship in ways they never had before. And for Max, it became an indelible memory, serving as a cautionary tale for future generations.